Alright guys, well I'm back today with some of the best budget digital CQB night vision you can possibly get in 2023. What we were looking at is the brand new Nightfox Swift 2 and Swift 2 Pro. This is a head-mounted unit that comes with a strap inside the box and two different mounting systems, including the standard dovetail that you would use for traditional night vision mounts, or the GoPro mounting system, allowing you to put that either on the head strap or your helmet to actually utilize it hands-free. This is a 1x set of digital night vision, meaning it translates it 1-to-1, so it's more of a CQB kind of close-up style night vision. I've reviewed a lot of digital night vision in the past, but honestly haven't been reviewing it much because there's not been a lot of changes and a lot of the products are really the same. My go-to digital close-up night vision on a budget was the original Swift from Nightfox and some of the magnified optics, or the kind of optically magnified, the 3x and the 5x digital night vision has also remained the same until now. What we are looking at is an updated unit that addressed some of the issues I discussed in my previous videos, but still for the price it was doing great. Now, when you're looking at this version, both the standard and the Pro, they come right around $200. The traditional Swift 2 is $199, and currently they have a 20% clickable code. Now, Amazon will add codes, or companies will add codes and take them away, but we're just going to focus on that $199 price, and all the information and linking will be in the description below. Now, the Swift 2 Pro, the only difference is it actually comes with a recording card, or a recording feature with the memory card that you can take out, and that's how I recorded the intro footage. If you're utilizing this for any applications where you may want to record, or even you think you might want to record in the future, to me, it's 100% worth that $30 upgrade. If you're never going to record for any reason whatsoever, then you can save the $30. But honestly, I think it's just worth it because you never know what you'll be doing in the future. Now, in a nutshell, I reviewed a lot of night vision on the channel, and something like this Swift Nightfox 2 kind of bridges the gap between more of a toy and something that you could actually use for practical applications, and we're going to be discussing some of those. Now, some of the premium digital night vision that I've used on the channel, like the Psionics night vision, those base models start at about $600 to $800, and you have a lot of limitations. Now, the Pro version of that is about $2,500, and that's where you can start getting real-world tactical personal defense applications. I'm talking about like engaging a target, running around, moving, but again, we are talking about $2,500. I've also taken a look at some PVS 14s, like actual real night vision with Gen 3 tubes, right around $3,200, and I would trust those with my life. This is a completely different category, but what Nightfox has done is put some very nice features in this model that starts moving it away from that just like Amazon special to something that you could actually use in different practical scenarios. One of the first things is the fact that they included all of the mounts inside the box itself. The only thing you'll have to add is the actual helmet mount if you wanted to mount it to a helmet, and in this particular case it includes the GoPro mount that you see here that bolts into the top. This is removable and swaps out with this piece right here and tightens down with this nut, so it's super easy to install. I will include the mounts that I'm utilizing in the description below, as well as the arm kit that's available on Amazon. Now, for me, I utilize the GoPro stuff for the videos just because it's almost infinitely adjustable with all the arm pieces you can buy on Amazon. It also allows you to kind of swing the night vision up when you're done using it. It's very convenient, and it hugs the helmet, and then you can swing it back down, although you will have to adjust it. So it's a little bit hard on camera when it's not on your face, but it's actually a lot easier when you have it mounted up and you can use two hands. You can also torque this down, loosen it, tighten it, whatever you need to do, but it works out really good. So that's a nice feature. To mount it to a helmet, you don't have to spend a ton of money, and they include most of the difficult pieces inside the box. And if you didn't feel like utilizing that, you can actually just utilize the included head strap, which works out really good. Kind of looks a little goofy, but it does the job. So again, everything you need in the box, just right off the bat, really good benefits to something like this. Another thing I want to mention is this is a 1x night vision optic. So what you're seeing is actually what you're seeing with your normal eyes, but you're reading it off a screen. So when you look left and right, everything is in proportion and it allows you to kind of walk around. Now, because of the refresh rate on a unit like this, you do get image blur when you move left to right, and you can kind of see that in the intro. Now, when you're slowly moving, it's actually not that bad, but when you're transitioning or running, it's almost unusable. So that's what would not allow this to be something that you could actually tactically engage a target inside a home where you're moving around corners and running incredibly quickly. So it's going to have its limitations, obviously, for $200, whereas something like a traditional PVS 14, since you're actually looking through a tube, you have no image blur whatsoever because you're just looking through an ocular lens system. But again, we are talking about $3,000. So $200 versus $3,000. I'm only mentioning those because these are getting so close to being just a solid option because of all the feature sets, yet we are still talking about that $200 price point. Another thing I want to mention about this is the record feature is incredibly nice. If you're using this for different airsoft applications or hunting applications, having that record feature is key. If you want to bring it back, upload it, and show it to your buddies, it's a pretty cool option. If you're an airsoft YouTuber or you're going to be looking at things at night that you want to record, this works out good. The other update, and probably one of the biggest updates and positives of this entire optics setup, is the fact that it's utilizing new sensors to pick up the IR light, and it's using two different IR emitters, both 850 nanometers and 940 nanometers. You can use the 940 nanometers to go undetected with virtually no red hue coming off the built-in emitters, which you see right here. Now, this is absolutely key. A lot of times when you're running this digital night vision across the board, when you turn on your IR emitters, you get a red hue. This one is pretty much non-existent, and it allows you to see up to 300 feet with that base IR. So that is perfect to actually go undetected. So where I see this utilizing as actual practical application is more of a sentry post or somewhere that's going to be remaining still in a certain area. You can utilize this by setting up at an airsoft scenario at a certain location where you're kind of entrenched in and you're scanning a field. This would work out perfectly. You could turn on the lowest IR setting, go undetected, and get a completely amazing view of the field for 300 feet, and then engage your target without ever shining a light. Now, if you wanted to see further, especially for temporary applications, maybe for surveillance or different things like that, you can actually turn on the other emitter, which is just simply clicking up through the menu, and then that turns it on, and it's more of a spotlight style emitter, and that allows you to see for 430 feet. So it works out insanely well in different applications. Now, a unit like this is made out of plastic, so I imagine a couple of hard smashes in the concrete and it's not going well. Also, with that respect, some of the psionics stuff at the $800, $1,000, even $2,500 price point, I don't know if I would smash that on concrete a couple times. You know, it's not something I'm going to try on either of these units, but I feel like the PVS 14s at the $3,000 price point are going to be a little bit more robust. But with that being said, there's no issues with this unit. It also provides this really nice eye cup that just fits perfectly to your eyes and gives you the perfect kind of field of view and range when you have everything in there. So it works out very nicely. Also, the cool thing about this is it's incredibly lightweight and comes with a rechargeable battery built into the optic itself, so you can charge with the included USB port. So that's very convenient. If you wanted to run a battery bank out of the back of your helmet to get it charged, that'll work out incredibly well for very long battery lives. But speaking of battery lives, you get very extended run times, up to 5 hours with constant use. So when you're talking about different practical applications, different hunting scenarios, or different airsoft scenarios, you imagine that this, for 5 hours, that's plenty. Also, you could swap out that battery if you wanted to. It seems fairly constant, so it's not embedded in the system. You can actually access that if you wanted from the bottom, making it fairly simple to swap out, or again, just run those battery banks. They're getting so small on Amazon, you can put them in a plate carrier or actually in pouches in the back of your helmet. If you're interested in actually ballistic rated helmets to mount this to, check out Guard Dog Armor. That's where I got this helmet. They're just a touch over 300 or 350 after my discount code 704 Tactical. So if you did want to mount this setup, it'll work out perfectly. In summary, this is a game changer when it comes to budget digital night vision because of the mounting, because of the wide field of view, the rechargeable battery, and the most important feature of all, the new utilization of 940 and 850 nanometer combined emitters, allowing you to go undetected with this night vision device. It works out great down at the range, but definitely know its limitations. But at the price, this thing is absolutely amazing, and I can highly recommend it. So if you thought about getting into night vision and wanted to try out different night vision IR laser devices and things like that, as you see in the intro, this is a good opportunity as well. And the intro is actually running a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 with an IR laser, and it picked it up perfectly. Something like that is pretty darn slick, especially for hunting applications. If you were set up to hunt different coyotes and varmints at night in the states where that's legal, you could set up in a blind or in a tree stand with this and get an amazing view utilizing an IR laser, an IR night vision device, and allowed you to engage your targets virtually undetected from that location and record your entire hunt. So such a cool option. Hope you guys liked the video. I hope it gives you a new and revolutionary night vision device for right at about $200. All the information and linking will be in the description below. I also want to give a huge shout out to Nightfox for sending this out to the channel, as well as a few other things that you'll want to subscribe and stay tuned for. These guys have always been sending out their new products to the channel for me to test and evaluate, and I love getting my hands on them to talk about the positives and negatives and whether digital night vision may be right for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.